Hello and welcome to this lesson about the developing of a profitable strategy. Now, this is a very interesting topic because it's just going to open your eyes concerning these things. Strategy is very important when it comes to forex trading right over there. And some questions that you just be asking yourself if you are a trader over there. I know some of you maybe you may have the strategy you are just been using over there, and sometimes it can just be you are losing always, and you have seen some people making good amount of money. Is it a magic? Is it a trick? Is it an hack? Then after maybe watching full of this video, then you're just going to understand maybe the mistakes that you have been making there, or using the strategy, or you on the strategy that you've just been using over there. Maybe you're just going to identify some of these mistakes that you have been making right over there. But before we just begin over here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, because that is the only thing I just need you to do over here, and I know you're just going to be more profitable through this class right over here. So without wasting any time, this is my board. This I'll just be writing over here. Remember, after just doing some explanations over here, we'll still be going to the chart to identify this in a very practical way, so that I can just show you something that it's just going to be helping you right over there. So I'm be your trainer right over here, done, and I know this is just going to be interesting to you. Now, what is a strategy? Actually, we actually have to start from there and developing a trading strategy. Then that is where we just have to understand before anything else. So when we talk about the trading strategy, okay, you make sure that you have a notebook over there, you have somewhere to write, and you just have to follow this. So developing a trading strategy and trading plan, actually they are just different things, because they just look like a plan. Some people just check this as a plan, but this is not a plan, because when you talk about the plan, we are talking about how you can actually organize yourself even before trading. But remember, this is actually, plan is a combination between the strategy and how you actually even prepare yourself. Maybe it can just be how you clean, how you wake up every morning, how you prepare your things over here before even you just trade. Also, those are the plan. The days that you plan, you trade, can actually be included into the plan of your trading. So that's how it brings the different. But when you talk about the developing of a trading strategy, we are talking about combination actually of the knowledge that you have about the forex market to bring one goal, and that is execution and exit. Okay, so you just wanted to enter into the market, and then you just want to assist the market. Now, that is what we call a strategy. Entry, how you enter and how you assist, because it's either enter and exit can be either profit or loss. But the moment you just enter, it is the strategy that you just need to have, a working strategy that is just going to help you over there. But let me just tell you something over here before we begin. There are a lot of benefit when it comes to when you have a very good strategy over here, because it will actually give you what we call confidence. If you have a trading strategy that you trust, even if the market will just go against you, it's actually going to give you a confidence. A confidence is when the market even goes against you, and still you'll be having what you call confidence over there, and even you just lose over there, then it's just going to be amazing. And as I said, forex trading is actually the combination of the all about the forex market, of all things over here. So learning a lot of things in the forex market is going to help you to build a very profitable strategy over here, as I'm going to show you right over here. Now, where you have to start is you have to learn more on forex indicators, chart patterns, candlesticks patterns, all this will just open your mind more, and you'll just be having a variety of choosing. Okay, goals must be included. Why are you trending? Is it because others are making money, or you're just going to be revenge? So that is one of the strategy. That is, before you do anything, you have to have something like that. Okay, now let's start right over here. I just want to draw these things which are included in the strategy over here, and you have to understand this. You have to know this. You cannot separate this from each other. And this is just a quick introduction. We have not started how to build a strategy. I'm just clearing this so that you can just understand more. Now, there's a triangle that is just drawn like this, and over here I just want to use to put what we call risk management. Okay, I have thought about the risk management so well. I have analysis over here. Okay, analysis right over here, and we have psychology right over here. Trust me or not, but all these things is the one that you have. This is actually a strategy. This will just comprise and it help you to become with one thing, which is a strategy. Now, the reason maybe you are not working, your strategy is not working, is because maybe you have concentrated more on analysis without considering the risk management. You can have this too, but if you remove this, actually you have destroying everything. Because if you have not learned about the psychology, you can have good risk management, you can have analysis over there, but the psychology is actually going to affect you more, and you can either close at losses and all that, and then your strategy is not going to work. So strategy is a combination of everything that you just know about the market, that is analysis, risk management, and the psychology. And I want to talk about the analysis over here. I'm talking about fundamental analysis, technical analysis. We have other analysis that I don't want to talk about over here, but the more you advance, you just understand them. Now let's proceed with this, because I know things are going to get very interesting right over here. There's something that you have to note over here. Now, how do you build the strategy? How do you build now this strategy? Building of strategy. This is where we are now. Understand, this is just very important right over here. Now, when we talk about the building of strategy, you have to understand everything that you just have to do, every mistake that you do before the strategy that you're just going to build over here. Remember, you are just going to put it on the demo account. You're going to practice this on the demo account before doing anything like of kind of this. So demo account is one of the things that you just be doing over here for the strategy that you just be developing to test. And as I said, you can test your strategy on the demo account and see whether it is actually even more than 50%. If it is more than 50%, if you use good risk management, then that strategy is going to be more profitable right over there. Now let's start over there. That is one of the things that you just have to understand over there. Now, when it comes to building a strategy, number one of the things that you have to start over here is what we call, number one, you have to choose the style. Just choose the style. Choose which style do you want to trend with. So the style over here can come with what we call, are you a scalper? Are you a position trader? Are you a swing trader? What do you want to focus in? Is it a short term or a long term trader? You know, when it comes to short term over here, we can talk about the person like a scalper who can just enter in seconds, and in 2 minutes he is out of the market. Do you want to have something like that? Because strategy actually will change. A person actually uses that strategy. My strategy, if I'm intraday, someone who can actually trend long term, and a scalper, actually those two things are different. My strategy will not work in a scalper if you are different people over here. So developing a strategy, you have to choose on what works on you. Are you a scalper, intraday, swing trader? That is the first thing that you have to choose over there, and you have to know how they just work over there. Something that is all. Just to conclude on that, just choose over there between those. So you have to know what are they, swing traders over there. Let me just write very fast over here. You can choose between scalper, okay, you can between intraday, you know, and also you can just to choose day trader, you know, day trader. Okay, so if all this one, you just have to choose. If you choose, you know, the strategy is just going to work differently right over here. Number two of the things that you have, which are very important over here, is to what we call technical analysis. Okay, technical analysis, now this is where so many people actually do a lot of things. Everyone who is trading over there is looking at the technical analysis, and without looking at other things actually over there, so which are actually even more important as well. Now, when we start about the technical analysis right over here, we can start with this one. Now, we are talking about the technical analysis right over here. And when you talk about the technical analysis, number two, technical analysis. When we talk about the technical analysis right over here, let me write technical analysis. You can start either whatever you choose, but these are things that you have to know over there. At the end of the result, at the end of it, I'll just show you why I'm telling you these things. Now, you can choose what we call technical analysis. The reason we're talking about the technical analysis, where you can start right over here, is actually to check different performance or how the market is actually doing. You can just check different pairs over here. You can just go to the gold, commodities. But if you have a specific pairs that you trend, that will just be very important. You just have to check your pairs that you actually trend right over there. So, but if you want to build the strategy, you can just be checking different pairs, how they are just performing by just the highs. Just observe the market, how the market is moving. Is there different things that you observe? Is there a market that is more volatile than the other? Something just like that. Then that is just you check. Number two over here, under technical analysis, you use different time frames. Use different time frames to observe how the market is actually performing, how the chart are being formed. Is there the market that is moving this way or that way, using the different time frame over here, and it's just going to helping you over there. And number two of these, when it come different time frames, then you can, this is where actually you start by drawing the trend lines. You can now draw what we call the trend lines here. So these trend lines over here will just be helping you to know where the market will just be helping you. And this trend line is not of mass that the trend lines maybe are going to be over or there all the time, but you can just draw these trend lines to see what the market is just doing. Drawing the trend line is just very easy. You just have to have the trend lines touching at least 3 points. When the trend line actually touches 3 points, then that trend line actually becomes valid. These are very simple steps to follow. You have just observe the market, how it's just doing. Use different time frames, draw the trend lines where possible to see, and the trend lines have to touch 3 points. And when it touches those 3 points over there, then you can just see that trend lines is actually valid. Now, after drawing this trend line right over here, then it takes us to the next step. You have to know so the reason we draw trend lines in higher time frame is you just know the move of the market in a long time, to just give a vision to know if you if you just enter and buy, or long time market is just going to go up, okay, you still stick to the market. For example, let me just tell you something you don't know more about the trend lines right over here, okay? So this is it. This is what I'm talking right about here. So you observe this is the market, how the market has just been doing, just going up like this. So assume this is the 1 week. So 1 week, okay, and when the market reaches here, it just goes down. So eventually, the market actually will just reach at this point, okay. Now what happens over here is your focus will be, even if you're not be trading in weekly time frames, the one thing that you just know over here is that on your mind, on your focus, is that in long time, or maybe when this is 1 day time frame, on focus, that at the end of it, the market is in a bearish move and it's just going to be more that. So anytime maybe you enter a sell, and then the market actually just buy a little bit, then because things are going to be at the end of it is just going to sell, then you can actually have that patience. That's why it is very important to check in high time frames before now trading in lower time frames over here. It will help you something like that. However, maybe you are just cutting something like that. Now after doing trend lines, checking all those things, then it takes us to the next step, number 3 over here. Not number 3, but on the technical analysis right over here, it will just take you where you have to have price action. The reason I said you have to learn a lot of things on the forex market, something like price action. Now when we talk about price action, is a very huge topic. It is a very big topic as well, which you can actually take time to cover right over here. Takes time as well. So price action is actually consist a lot of things, but I'll just talk about something over here, which is like you can learn about something like the chart patterns. You can learn about the chart patterns. Okay, so chart patterns is one you can actually check the market nest, what we call the chart patterns. And what do you know about this chart pattern? Chart patterns is how the market forms a certain chart over there. For example, let me just give you a chart that is not even available. You can just check the market. Is just like how you look at the cloud, and you can see sometimes it's just drawing mountains, and maybe it's just going to do this. You see the clouds are just very dark, and it's just going to rain, something like that. So when we talk about the chart pattern, is the same thing, and they can actually form different things, and we expect the market to go this way. So it's like maybe sometimes you can just form something we call examples of patterns over here. You have to learn this, as we are saying, you have to learn different things over here. So we have double tops and bottoms. Okay, we have double tops and bottoms. We have rising and falling wages. You have to learn about this. So you have to know the reason we are going to learn all this. We're just going to combine all of them to form a very good strategy. So you have to understand this, because if you put this, sometimes the market can form this and not form all these things over here. There are a lot of things we can just talk about over here, like ascending and descending triangle, you have to learn all these things. We have end shoulders, all this, where the market can just form all those things. You have to know about those things. They'll just be helping you very much over here. On the technical analysis side, make sure that you just learn about the indicators, in the indicators. Okay, this is another thing that you have to learn over here. There are a lot of big indicators that you can just use over here. Relative strength index, you can learn about the MACD, MACD over here. You can learn about the moving average, MA. All these indicators you can just use to, you don't have to maybe stay in one indicator. You can just learn different indicators right over here. And then you can, there are a lot of indicators, Fibonacci, I think so many of them, and you can just learn at least 6, 7 how they work, and you can just find which is perfect over here, which can just give you a good move over here. Now indicators, maybe they're just going to show you the indications, or the market will just be moving something just like that. I'm just going to be showing you how the market how we can just combine these things in a different way to form maybe a certain strategy that can actually work. I'm going to tell you the reason we just do that. Now, the next thing that we just be checking on over here on the analysis is what we call the fundamental analysis. Okay, fundamental analysis is one of the things so many traders miss over here. Okay, And the reason you don't have to be a fundamental analysis trader, okay? You don't have to be a fundamental analysis trader. All you just have to do is actually to be checking when maybe the big news over there that are happening. You can still avoid the market and stay out of the market right over there. If there may be NFP news, if there are other news that are just going to affect the market so much, then you can actually avoid this thing. So that is what you just have to know right over there. Example, the big news that you can just expect in the market, we have like employment data, employment, same as comes with NFP, but somehow different from that. We have something like interest rate. All these tends to move the market. We have CPI data, all these PMI. Just learn about all this and it's just going to help you. And the good thing is that I actually posted this video. I've made quite good video on this, so they're just going to be helping you so much right over here. If you just click down on over there, or you check one of my videos, they're just going to be helping you so much over there to navigate and learn more on this. Everything I'm just talking about over here, I have taught it here on my channel right over here. Now you have learned about all those things, and remember where we started by saying you have to learn more about the market. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, the fundamental analysis, all those things I'm talking about, or when I talk about the price action, make sure that you learn about those things. It will just help you to have a good strategy over here. Now in the last option, you can just look for the small time frame and candlesticks patterns. Okay, now you have done your analysis, and maybe the market is moving this way, the market is moving this way and that way. Okay, here assume now you expect the market to reverse around this area. When you talk about the all this, so on this area, so you can, when you check this on 1 day time frame, you see something touching like this, but maybe you don't know appropriate or a right place to enter into the market. Exact. So the only thing that can just help you now, we are in the entry here. Now on the entry, because now the strategy, you have everything, you have identified. Now it is time to buy, it is time maybe to sell, it is time to enter into the market, because this is the finalizing thing that you just do with your strategy. What do you do here now? This is what you just check. You can check on small time frames. You can just check on the small time frames, and that is why do we say about the small time frames right over here. Okay, so if you enter something like this, if you go something like this, because this is a 1 day time frame and actually touching these trend lines over here before it reverses, maybe when you go to 5 minutes, you see something like this on 5 minutes around this region here. So this is this region, you see something like this here. So the market is actually here. So what you just do is to just wait. If you want to sell, it's just wait another market to come up here, and then you just sell, because it will be in the exact place, the highest place that actually been achieved, and that is when you just sell right over here. But when you actually sell in 1 day time frame, it's just going to make a lot of difference over here, because you can just buy or sell when the pips are actually even 200 to 300, and you're just going to have a small negative before maybe the market goes to positive. So using small time frame is just going to help you to have almost exact place to enter into the market. Now, so this help you to exactness, not exact actually, but it improves accuracy, it improves entry, it improves entry, it improves what? It improves entry. Yeah, it improves entry, so that you can just maximize your profit over there. You can just maximize, not the market going against you. Now the other thing you just have to check is what we call the candlesticks pattern. Remember, we are in chart patterns, candlesticks patterns. Now this is the last thing that you just check over there. Remember, candlesticks patterns does not work to all people. Less people use candlesticks pattern. Yes, I think that. And when you talk about the candlesticks pattern, we can talk about when the candlesticks, and that is a very huge topic over here. Candlesticks can be how the candlesticks forms, all these candlesticks formations. Okay, maybe you see these green candlesticks forming over here, and then you just something is going to happen. You can see a certain candlesticks being formed, and the market is just going to go to another direction, either what we call engulfing candlesticks over here. We have something we call the doji, 3 types of dojis over here. There are a lot of candlesticks that you can just talk about over here, and sometimes we can just see the market actually have just been moving like this. Let me just go previously on. We're talking about the reversal right over here. Assume now the candlesticks that have been formed over here, and remember, don't use small time frames when it comes to candlesticks pattern or the candlesticks over here. Use high time frame, 1 day, 4 hour. Over there is just going to help you. Assume now this is your place, and what you observe over there is you observed candlesticks candle. Now this is for candlesticks. The candlesticks that you observe over here is what we call the gravestone, and gravestone just like this. This is one of the candles that actually form when the market is about to reverse back. So this is another confirmation that when this closes, then you'll be entering when this opens and green, and then that is just going to be helping you over here. So you can see small time frames and candlesticks pattern. They are the last thing that you can be doing over here to maximize your profit over here, and it's just going to be helping you so much. Trust me or not, let me just show you something that we have combined over here so that you can just know. Over here, I'm just going to be helping you over here. Now you just choose, you have chosen style. The style is the first thing, and then I just want to check over here on the technical analysis over here, different time frames, that is what we have been used, we have used over here. On trend lines is the part of technical analysis, but we use technical instrument. Price action, that is price action combines between it combines between the chart patterns and the candlesticks pattern. Indicators, okay, indicators. And also you can see on the price action over here we have 2 of them, that is candlesticks pattern, candle and chart. Okay, candle and chart. I want you to understand that, and that is the things that you just do over here. Now let me just show you a combination that we actually do over here on different time zone. Over here we have technical analysis. Technical analysis, remove that, but I want you to, we can just combine this technical instrument that you use like indicators, like the technical instrument like trend lines. Okay, now what are things that I've confirmed before we enter technical instrument like trend lines? This is number 1. Okay, a confirmation number 1. Over here we have used the candlesticks chart, that is number 2, to confirm the direction of the market. Candlesticks pattern number 3, and number 4 we will be using indicator. So imagine you have a combination of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it gives you 4. Now if you go to a place and then you just ask one person what is the direction of going to Nairobi, and then person just tell you take this route and take this route and that route, and it will just lead you to Nairobi. The other person you just go to ask which is the route to go to Nairobi, it tells you this, this and this, and the same information. When you just go to the that person, the same and the same, and when you just go to the fourth person, it just confirms you the same information. Now what do? You believe. That is why you now believe. And now because you have so many confirmation, this is now what we have approved confluence, because confluence actually is good. Confluence is where everything that you just deduce over here, it comes to a conclusion that this market is actually going to this direction. Now we have four things. If you actually have any from positive 3, if you actually have a confirmation of from positive 3 going above, then I would just recommend that to be a good place to enter into the market. If you ask 3 people the direction to go somewhere in different ways, because there are different people over here, we have used indicators, price chart patterns, candlesticks pattern, trend lines, and they all confirm the market is just going to this direction, then it's not 100% true, but you can take your actions over there. Now after using this, now this is where come to, you have to have a risk management, because it's not 100%. Trust me, you can enter over there, but without risk management is not going to be helping you. Now what will just this help you over here? This will help you like this. You have 3 confirmation. Now there's no doubt, you are not scared, you are not doing this. Now the risk management, that is what you know. I want this amount of money and I want to stay this way, I want to put and I want to risk this. It's a good entry. I've confirmed, I've done what I can, I've done all the best. Now I have to know what I'm going to risk, because I have this amount of money, what I'm going to lose over here. And you can just, that's why you have to learn about how to calculate profit and loss. I have taught that. If you, maybe you don't know this, if you are a beginner, still watch all my videos, so you just understand all these things about the forex, about risk management. You just know how it works. Now you just do a proper risk management right over there. Now after doing a proper risk management, then the last thing that applies is what we call a psychology, because psychology is the one that will just help you even to wait, even if market turns green or small rand or hit your SL and all that. It requires psychology, and believe me, that is the last thing that you just do over here. Psychology comes over here. It's not the last, but very important, because you can have all those things that you talk about over here: good risk management, good strategy, but you miss psychology. Missing psychology is very important over here. Missing psychology is so bad, because you don't have to miss that. So it will help you, because you can do all those things, and without psychology, good psychology, I don't know what I can just call it, but something like discipline, patient, when you talk about psychology, and then having to wait, all those things combine to psychology when you're not talking about that. So if you lack that, then you're going to be losing everything. Let's just do a little combination of what I'm talking over here, and then you just be little understanding of what I'm going to show you over here. Now I'll be going to one of our things over here, which is our chart. I want to show you something. So I want to go to the chart so that we can see if we can just get the market maybe for me, and what we just be looking over here to see a combination that can just bring the market, maybe what this can just be a good strategy maybe for people who are entering. So I'm just going to show you something over here. Let's check. There's a trending view. The other thing that you have to be using right over here, remember, you can use 2 indicators. Sometimes you cannot use all those things. I want to clear this. I want to go to the market. I want to go to, let me go to US oil. US oil, it is here. I want to show you something. Now you can see this is what our time frame. This is a 1-day time frame. Let me just go to a lower time frame over here. A lower time frame will just be coming to, so 1-day time frame is actually good even for now. 1-day time frame is not bad, but let's just go even to 1 week. Okay, let's just go to 1 week. I show you something. So you can see I'm just doing all these things here. So this is it. So what you can see right over here, I first drew my trend lines, and to make my trend lines to be good over here, remember where we started is to try to draw perfect trend lines over here, and I have 1 2 3. So I know this is perfect one over here. Okay, and then we have 1 2 3. Okay, so the moment we just have this, there is the reason this has been broken. I'll just explain that later, but the reason these trend lines I saw they were working so well, and actually this could have been my end, this couldn't be my selling point over here, and all those sort of things. I expecting this breakout over here. Now, because the reason this was working so well right over here is because we have these two lines over here being parallel. The reason I'm talking about the parallel is because those two trend lines are actually parallel to each other. It's just the clone of this. So I just cloned here of this, and I just put it to be on this side, and actually worked so well right over here. Now, well, let me just go to 1 day time frame. I show you how you can just navigate through this. Just the same thing. I hope maybe you can see. If your phone screen is just showing it small, make sure that you expand so you guys can see well. Now you can see we are now seeing things clearly right over here. Now things are coming so clear, and you can see my point over here of these points over here that has been touched by our trend lines over here, and over here because this is 1 day time frames over here, you can see this line through. This is called a descending triangle, and when we have a descending triangle just like this, when it touches our point over here, we always expect the market to break out of that. Now there's something happened over here. I just want to show you in the trend lines and how someone could actually have entered around this area. So you can see when it touched the 4th time over here, we always expected a reversal over here because it was just a trend line. So you can see 1 2 3, and now because this is just using one trend lines, and that is why we always fail, all of us, because you cannot use only trend lines over here. So we have trend lines over here, but market reverse, which is a good thing. When the US oil actually comes from 77 and then goes to 73, then that's a lot of move. That's a very big move. That's a lot of money that you can actually make from there, which is a very interesting thing to note right over here. Now the next thing I'm just going to be checking over here is the price action over here. The price action is the the price. You can see there's something I've observed over here. I've used what we call the chart pattern over here, which is descending triangle. The moment I've just already explained that. Now the next thing that we just talk about over here is, remember what we are going to use almost everything that we just did and discussed right over here is the indicator. So I'm going to try to use one of the indicators. You can use this in different time zones over here, and I'm going to use something like RSI, relative strength index, to see whether actually we tend this point to reverse around this area to get from 77 to that. And when it comes to this, you can see the market actually touched this point, which means there was a possibility the market actually could reverse a little bit, just a little bit, because before going up again. You can see all this one, the moment it was touching this line, it was reversing back. Here it was overbought. Over here, before touching this one to reverse back, it touched over here, oversold here with this point over here. So that is how you can just confirm with the indicator. Now you have two things over here: trend lines, price action, just showing you things, and you have indicator right over here. The last thing that we just saying, which so many people don't use over here, is the small time frames and also the candlesticks that you can just use over here, like the candlesticks that you can just be used over here to note, like there's going to be a good reversal. Like you can see over here, we have this red candle, which is an engulfing, which means it covered the last previous one over here, and it confirmed really there's going to be a reverse over here, and the market actually continued to go down. So that is one of the interesting things you have to know there. And then you can just you have your entries around this region over here, and you can just make your money. So those are the things that you have to note over there when it comes to building your strategy. Remember, you can just do all those things. You can combine indicator, your own indicator, not really the RSI, not only the ascending triangle that I've just used over here. You can have how you formulate this, as long you know all those information that I've actually shared right over here. This is just an example that I've just given over here. You can see you have to have the places of confluence that will just make your strategy to be more strong and more working. So if you love this video, if you love my content over here, make sure that you watch more, subscribe, like all my videos, leave a comment down over there. It will just help me to create more content right over there. I hope to see you soon, and see you soon. Bye. If you want to know the broker that I use, check in the comment section. You see all my details over here, social media platforms. If you want to be added to my team, you can just reach me over there. I will just hand you to where you can receive free trainings over here, so that you can just become a profitable trader. See you next time. Bye bye.